The health and safety of your family may be at risk because federal laws are being broken in neighborhoods across Northeast Ohio. What our hidden camera investigation uncovered is getting results in Washington. On your side, consumer investigator Jenn Strathman fought for 6 months to keep your family safe.
Danita, close to 4 million Ohio homes contain a toxic substance that's hazardous to children. But the federal agency responsible for keeping your family safe isn't talking about what we found. 2-year-old Jaden's energy is endless. It's children like Jaden who've kept Roberta Anderson energized the last 20 years.
The major concern is damage to the brain.
As a pediatric nurse practitioner at Metro Health Medical Center, Roberta sees child after child poisoned by their own home.
This is a very profound picture. And as you can see, her whole intestinal system was contaminated with the lead.
In some Cleveland neighborhoods, as many as 1 in 4 children under the age of 6 have elevated lead levels. It doesn't take much to endanger a child. Jaden was exposed when windows were open and closed in his home. Home improvement projects are also to blame, so the federal government added a new player in the war on lead. Your contractor. He's required to take steps to prevent lead exposure during home renovations. It's a law that's costing contractors and homeowners more money. But our 6-month On Your Side investigation found the law is not being enforced.
The whole system is failing right now.
And our hidden camera video shows contractors know it.
Now, they haven't started cracking down real hard yet.
The agency responsible for enforcing the law isn't talking, but 2 congressional leaders are speaking out, both pushing for change.
It's a health and safety issue for me.
It's an issue contractors learn about in a day-long training class. Anyone who works in a home or child care facility built before 1978 and disturbs more than 6 square feet of a painted surface needs the class.
For instance, a window could be 2 by 3, that's 6 square foot. So it is a small area.
Michael Feller travels the country training contractors, showing them how to test for lead and contain it with plastic and specialized vacuums. The extra equipment, certification costs, and time prepping and cleaning up a job are costing contractors and consumers money.
When you look at the law, everybody really needs this. But convincing the contractors that they need the class, that's another issue.
This online database makes it easy for a consumer to see who's taken the class and who hasn't. Within 50 miles of Cleveland, more than 1,500 contractors have the training. But our investigation found that's a small percentage compared with the number of contractors registered to do work in a city. In Lakewood, 72% of the remodelers haven't been trained, along with 58% of window replacement companies. We invited 3 contractors to a Lakewood home with hidden cameras to see what they're telling consumers. The Cuyahoga County Board of Health used X-ray technology to confirm the presence of lead. They found it near the doors and windows, 2 items we told contractors we wanted to replace.
Well, like that window, if you open up this window and the windowsill, inside the windowsill is probably all lead paint in there.
Without even testing, 2 contractors suspected lead, but this contractor wasn't so sure.
I don't think you have any of this. Maybe on the outside from way back in the day, but I'm not disturbing that.
He told us he'd still test for lead before he began any work. But remember, contractors need to be certified if they plan to disturb the lead-based paint. And the EPA says this contractor is not qualified. But listen to what he told us.
Where'd you do that training? You have to do it down in Columbus?
Yeah, down in Columbus, that's what we went out for.
Essentially, the EPA's put the enforcement on kind of an honor park system. They try to rely on the contractors to do the right thing. Well, contractors aren't doing the right thing.
It's a problem in Congressman Kucinich's district and also in Canton, where 73% of home improvement contractors are not trained. And in Cleveland Heights, where 60% of window installers don't know lead-safe work practices. It concerns Congresswoman Marcia Fudge, who represents the East Side.
I think that people feel like as long as I can get away with doing it the way that I did it before, it's okay.
If you find someone breaking the law, you can complain to the EPA. But our investigation found the EPA received more than 1,000 tips about possible violations. Yet the EPA hasn't filed a single enforcement action.
It's hard to believe that out of 1,000 tips, nothing has been done.
We shared our findings with Congresswoman Marcia Fudge after the EPA refused to publicly answer our questions. Fudge also pushed the EPA for answers, and we continue to push the regional and federal EPA offices. Neither office will publicly talk about enforcement. So Fudge sent this letter to top brass at the EPA demanding answers and demanding an action plan.
I do think that they should have enough people on the ground or the wherewithal to really start to look into people who are basically scamming the system.
We found it's tough for consumers to verify who's telling the truth. Back at our home with hidden cameras, the second contractor we brought in is not listed in the EPA's database. But listen to what he told us.
We went through classes and stuff.
The EPA says this contractor is certified, but consumers would only know that if they called the EPA hotline. The company mistakenly checked the wrong box when they filled out EPA paperwork, so they didn't end up in the public database. The company had no idea until we told them.
I'm just hoping that things like this will make them take another look at it and say, you know what, maybe the enforcement mechanism we have here doesn't quite work.
Congressman Kucinich is also pledging to work on this issue. He raised questions about it 4 years ago before the rules became law, and Kucinich is ready to push the EPA for answers again.
I'm very grateful that you have brought this up, because it's going to be instrumental in pushing the EPA to do the right thing on behalf of America's children.
Just this week, the EPA filed its first enforcement action based on a tip and a 7-month-old YouTube video showing a contractor breaking the law. We'll continue to demand action and answers.
So, Jen, what do contractors think about this enforcement, and what can consumers do about it?
Well, the contractors who have paid for the training and the equipment are very unhappy. They think there's an unlevel playing field out there because these guys who are not trained can come in and underbid a job. So consumers need to ask a lot of questions.
Always ask questions. Never wrong to ask.
That's right.
All right.
And your community also does play a role as well, and we'll have more on that tomorrow live on 5.
Okay, we'll be watching. Thank you very much, Jen.